Coming up on today's Airborne, Piper completes Archer flight test powered by 93UL autogas. The FAA to announce new first officer qualifications. And SpaceX releases video of Grasshopper's latest jump. Welcome to Airborne on Aero-TV. I'm Ashley Hale. Piper Aircraft has completed test flights of a Piper Archer powered by 93-octane premium unleaded automotive gasoline. Piper worked with Airworthy AutoGas LLC out of Phoenix, Arizona, to prove the concept in a test flight regime conducted from the company's Vero Beach manufacturing campus. Piper President and CEO Simon Caldecott said, quote, "As we search for more environmentally friendly fuels than 100 low lead to power piston aircraft, Piper wanted to take the next step with Lycoming and Airworthy Autogas to operationally prove the 93UL concept under rigid test conditions. Our next operational effort will include cross-country applications, working with Airworthy Autogas to ensure availability en route." End quote. Airworthy Autogas plans to produce and distribute its high-purity, low-vapor pressure, ethanol-free 93-octane premium unleaded automotive gasoline beginning in the fall of 2013. The FAA announced Wednesday that it plans to publish, quote, soon, the final rule that will increase the qualification requirements for first officers who fly for U.S. passenger and cargo airlines. The new rule will require first officers to hold an airline transport pilot certificate, requiring 1,500 hours total time as a pilot. Previously, first officers were required to have only a commercial pilot certificate, which only requires 250 hours of flight time. The rule also requires first officers to have an aircraft type rating, which involves additional training and testing specific to the airplanes they fly. The new regulations stem in part from the tragic crash of the Colgan Air 3407 in February 2009, and address a congressional mandate in the Airline Safety and FAA Extension Act of 2010 to ensure that both pilots and co-pilots receive the ATP certification. SpaceX has released a video of a June 14th test of its Grasshopper, which flew 1,066 feet higher than Manhattan's Chrysler building before smoothly landing back on the pad. According to the company, for the first time in this test, Grasshopper made use of its full navigation sensor suite with the F9R closed-loop control flight algorithms to accomplish a precision landing. Most rockets are equipped with sensors to determine position, but these sensors are generally not accurate enough to accomplish the type of precision landing necessary with Grasshopper. While most rockets are designed to burn up on atmospheric re-entry, Grasshopper, a 10-story vertical takeoff, vertical landing vehicle, is being designed not only to withstand re-entry, but also to return to the launch pad for a vertical landing. With taxes going up, the Bahamas may see airline service going down. Airlines, particularly those based in the U.S., are taking a hard look at their level of service to the Bahamas in the wake of new taxes recently imposed by that government. At least one Bahamian senator has said that the taxes represent a serious threat to tourism in the island nation. Airlines for America warned recently that its members could take a hard look at the level of service provided to the Bahamas in light of the taxes, which include a $50 refueling stop and customs processing fee, along with an increase in departure taxes to include aircraft crew members. The Bahamian newspaper Tribune 242 reports that in a response, Senator John Bostwick, who is a member of the opposition Free National Movement Party, called on the government to urgently revisit the new taxes. A4A wrote a letter to Bahamian Customs Comptroller Charles Turner on June 28th, saying that the new taxes and fees would cut into its members' exceedingly slim profit margins and that it could have an adverse impact on the overall Bahamian economy. The airline had been looking at increasing the number of seats available to destinations in the Bahamas by 400,000, based on the expected increase in demand. That is now in question, according to Senator Bostwick. You're watching Airborne. More in a moment.
Redbird Skyport is a multifaceted aviation laboratory charged with developing innovative solutions to the issues facing the industry.
It started out as a vision for a laboratory where we could objectively measure the systems and the processes that we were developing. Being able to put some objective measures behind the anecdotal evidence that we have about the value of motion and the application of this technology is very, very important, because until we can objectively measure it and play that data back, we can't design training systems that make the best use of it.
For more information about Redbird flight simulations, as well as Redbird's new Skyport, visit www.redbirdflightsimulations.com or www.redbirdskyport.com.
Welcome back. If you'd like to suggest a story for Airborne, Aero-TV, our website, or our podcast, drop us an email to news-spy@aero-news.net. England's Prince Harry, aka Captain Wales, is now a full-fledged Apache aircraft commander. Britain's royal family said in a news release Friday that Prince Harry completed his qualification last week within 3-Regiment Army Air Corps. This qualification marks the culmination of his experience as a member of the Apache aircrew. It follows a successful tour of Afghanistan, which was preceded by a distinguished record in training, including being awarded a prize for the best co-pilot gunner. Prince Harry will now continue with normal duties as an Apache pilot based at Woodisham Airfield, where he worked as part of the Joint Aviation Group, which provides helicopter support to International Security and Assistance Force and Afghan forces. What began on May 3rd in San Francisco ended at about 11 p.m. Saturday night after an afternoon of suspense as Andre Borschberg guided the Solar Impulse to a tense but successful touchdown, hours earlier than scheduled at New York's JFK International Airport, completing the first solar-powered transcontinental flight across the USA. The added drama was supplied by an 8-foot tear in the underside of the Solar Impulse's left wing. According to NBC News, Borschberg, who is filling the pilot seat for the Washington to New York segment of the Across America journey, noticed a balance issue with the wings on Saturday afternoon, and pictures taken by a helicopter flying nearby confirmed the damage. While neither the pilot or the plane were thought to be in danger, all options were considered, including the possibility of Borschberg bailing out over the Atlantic. In the end, flight controllers worked with the FAA to arrange an early landing, and the only loss to the project was a planned photo op of a flyby on the Statue of Liberty. This flight was, while historic in its accomplishment, a test bed for a planned solar-powered flight around the world, which is still to come. Speaking of historic missions, ANN is about to launch its most extensive coverage of AirVenture ever, and it will be quite the undertaking. ANN's CEO and Editor-in-Chief Jim Campbell is here with a preview on today's Barnstorming.
Thanks, Ashley. Hi, folks. Well, let's talk Oshkosh. A little bit over 2 weeks away as we sit here getting ready. We have been beating our brains out trying to get ready for this thing. We're packing and we're sorting and we're doing this and that. But I want to talk about how critical this Oshkosh is going to be. And as a matter of fact, so critical that we're really upping the investment we're making in our Oshkosh coverage. Every year we go out, we have the better part of 30 people, sometimes in excess of that, producing audio, video, stories, and we really put our best effort into what we know to be the greatest air show on or over Earth. But this year has some interesting things hanging around its neck. One, FAA has not been kind to EAA, has not been kind to aviation overall, and that has cast a bit of a pall over the event. I've heard from a number of people going, well, FAA's screwing us all, I'm not going, or FAA's doing this, or I'm not doing that. What the FAA has done to EAA is not a reason not to go to Oshkosh. It is the best reason I can think of to not only go, but to support and to be heard, be seen, and be a part of the numbers that are necessary to show the FAA how important Oshkosh, sport aviation, and general aviation are, and why you really don't want to mess with them. Above and beyond that, the whole fly-in network is kind of scratching its head right now. From all reports we had, Lakeland went exceedingly poorly from both vendors as well as attendees. Attendance was down, services were down, and of course the management at Sun and Fun has gone from bad to worse. And that's casting a pall on the entire flying network. We've heard people had such bad experiences that they're beginning to wonder if they want to exhibit at any of the fly-ins at all anymore because, frankly, no matter what, they're an expensive proposition. Oshkosh needs to survive. Oshkosh is our best, most brightest star in the general aviation and sport aviation universe. Folks, come to Oshkosh. Don't negate it. Come, I know you're going to have your problems. Be polite to the FAA people, but let them know in no uncertain terms what you think and who you are and why you need to be taken seriously. And above and beyond everything else, just come and enjoy being a part of the aviation community. Meet people, talk to people, share experiences, and be a part of the great numbers that need to be at Oshkosh, not just this year, but for many years in the future. Join us. We'll be there. Our building will be in the Media Mall next to the press headquarters, and to show you how strongly we believe in the Oshkosh experience. We've made an investment in a building that will be put into Oshkosh permanently, no longer renting the portable office. This thing's going to stay up there 24/7, be ready for us from year to year. We are here to stay. We are going to be at Oshkosh to stay. We're going to be a part of the Oshkosh experience as long as I can breathe and fly and get my way to Oshkosh every year. We hope you will too. For the Aero-News Network, Airborne and Aero-TV, I'm Jim Campbell, preparing chaotically for Oshkosh. Thanks.
With the number of photos uploaded daily, even hourly, to Facebook, Twitter, and other social media sites, is anyone surprised that asteroid mining company Planetary Resource successfully completed its crowdfunding campaign to launch Orchid, the world's first public space telescope? Over the course of the 33-day campaign, the company generated support from more than 17,000 backers who pledged $1,505,366 for the cause. This marks the most successful crowdfunding effort for a space project and ranks the Orchid campaign among the top 25 projects in Kickstarter history. Nearly 16,000 campaign supporters will be among the first in the universe to take a space selfie. Photos will be displayed on the satellite's external screen as it orbits the Earth. More than 2,000 campaign backers donated time on the Orchid to education. Students from around the world, whether studying the solar system in a 5th grade science class or writing a graduate thesis, will be able to use the Orchid to investigate the cosmos, search for potentially dangerous near-Earth asteroids, take photos of space, and even make history with their own discovery. If you've ever dreamed of owning a personal jet, now is the time. That was the message from Sonex Aircraft founder and president John Monette as he announced that Sonex Aircraft LLC will be unveiling a special opportunity for pilots to become subsonics personal jet owners at EAA AirVenture Oshkosh. Potential customers will have their first opportunity to get in line for subsonics production slots, with full details to be announced at a briefing for customers and members of the media on Sunday, July 28th, during the Sonex Aircraft Homecoming and Open House Fly-In event, beginning at 10 a.m. at the Sonex Aircraft Factory Headquarters facility on the east side of Whitman Regional Airport. Sonex Aircraft will begin accepting customer bookings for the subsonics jet immediately following Sunday's briefing. JSX-1, the subsonics proof-of-concept prototype, will once again be featured in flight demonstrations during the showcase presentation at AirVenture Oshkosh. The subsonics personal jet concept was first unveiled in 2009, achieved first flight in August of 2011, and completed a successful flight test program in 2012. Second-generation JSX-2 prototypes are currently under construction to serve as conforming prototypes representing the final subsonics personal jet product. Well, that's our program for July 12th. Remember, you can get comprehensive, real-time, 24/7 coverage of the latest aviation and aerospace stories at aero-news.net. And please join us again next Tuesday for another edition of Airborne. I'm Ashley Hale. Thanks for watching.